Hey there, welcome to the very first quiz on my channel, which is on Shakespeare. And all of these questions are net PYQs, so this video will be very helpful in understanding the pattern of questions asked by NTA. So let's get started. Okay, so the very first question is which of the following statements best describes T.S. Eliot's assertion that Shakespeare's Hamlet is an artistic failure? So, as we all know, in 1919, T.S. Eliot wrote an essay which is Hamlet and His Problems. In his essay, he discussed this thing. So, now we have to choose the correct option. Because of what reason he felt like Hamlet was an artistic failure. So, take a look at these options. And the correct answer is Hamlet's emotion is not adequately objectified. Because of this assertion, he felt that Hamlet was an artistic failure. The next question is who of the following are being talked about in the following lines? And the lines are you seem to misunderstand me. By each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards me to interpret that you are so. And the options are the plebeians in Coriolanus, the sisters in King Lear, the witches in Macbeth, and the players in Hamlet. On the screen, there is a very big hint. So, by this picture, you know, for whom these lines are talked about. And the very clear answer is the witches in Macbeth. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, occurs in Shakespeare's As You Like It. Which character says the line? So, these are lines from As You Like It, and you have to guess, you have to answer that which character says these lines. The answer is Jacques, and he said these lines. These lines are very famous also. And the next question is what attributes of Shakespeare's characterization does Johnson admire in his preface to Shakespeare? And the options are the way his characters represent particular times and places, the way his characters exhibit a quirks representative of their humors or professions, the way his characters portray the general passions and principles of human nature, and the way his characters portray real individuals. And the answer is the way his characters portray the general passions and principles of human nature. Oh, who is this gentleman? Okay, so the question is to see him act is like reading Shakespeare by flashes of lightning. About which Shakespearean actor Coleridge wrote the above line. Okay, so this is an actor, and this actor is the actor about which Coleridge is talking. So the options are David Garrick, Richard Burbage, John Philip Campbell, and Edmund Kean. So let's see the answer now. The answer is Edmund Kean, and the picture here is of Edmund Kean. The next question is which of the following plays by William Shakespeare is not, okay, not directly referred to in T.S. Eliot's The Waste Land? And the options are Hamlet, King Lear, Coriolanus, and The Tempest. And here is the first stanza from the poem, and this was the first section of poem, The Burial of the Dead. So let's see what's the answer. And it is King Lear, which is not directly referred to in T.S. Eliot's The Waste End. All the other three plays, Hamlet, Coriolanus, The Tempest, are directly referred in T.S. Eliot's The Waste End. Hamlet, lying wounded, says to his friend, Horatio, I am dead. This is an example of. So now we have to tell the literary device used in this line, and here the options are protasis, anacrusis, prolapsus, or pun. And here is an actor playing Hamlet. This is a still from theater, and now the answer is prolapsus, which is a device in literature where the order of events in a story is disrupted so that a future plot point is told earlier in the narrative than it actually occurs. Okay, first instance of female cross dressing with the disconcerting nuances of a boy actor dressing as a boy while playing the role of a woman in the dramatic world of Shakespeare occurs in, and the options are The Two Gentlemen of Verona, As You Like It, Twelfth Night, or A Midsummer Night's Dream. And it occurs in The Two Gentlemen of Verona. Which of the modern plays by a British playwright puts Shakespeare as character on stage? And the options are Edward Bohn's Bingo, Harold Pinter's Mountain Language, Terence Rattigan's Inspector Calls, or Joe Orton's Loot. The answer is Edward Bohn's Bingo, and its subtitle is Scenes of Money and Death, and it is a 1973 play. And the picture here is of Edward Bond. It depicts an aging Shakespeare at his Warwickshire home in 1615 and 1616, suffering pangs of conscience in part because he signed a contract which protected his landholdings on the condition that he would not interfere with an enclosure of common lands that would hurt the local peasant farmers. Although this play is fictional, but the contract which is discussed here was a factual basis, and it is a political drama which is very much inspired by epic theater, and we all know who is related to epic theater, Bertolt Brecht. Which of the following Shakespearean plays in the correct chronological order? So we have to identify the correct chronological order, and on the side there are some famous quotes by Shakespeare which may be or may not be asked on your exam, but it's nice, you can just quote them anywhere while talking to your friends or family and they'll be impressed, I guess. So now let's see which is the right chronological order. And the correct chronological order is Much Ado About Nothing, Hamlet, King Lear, Troilus and Cressida. Okay, first the Much Ado About Nothing was published, then Hamlet, and then King Lear. After that, Troilus and Cressida. In Shakespeare's time, who owned the rights to a theatrical script? And the options are the playwright, the patron of the acting company, the printer, or the acting company. And here is a still from Romeo and Juliet, and it's a very powerful picture, I must say. And now let's see what's the answer. It was the acting companies who owned the rights to a theatrical script. On seeing whom does Miranda exclaim, "Oh, father, surely that is a spirit. Lord, how it looks about." And the options are Caliban, Ferdinand, Alonso, or Stefano. And this painting is of Miranda. See how beautifully it is painted. It was Ferdinand about whom Miranda was talking. To the memory of my beloved, the author, Mr. William Shakespeare, and what he had left us is an ode composed by. Okay, the hint is the picture here is the poet who wrote this poem. And who is it? The correct answer is Ben Jonson, and these lines are first four lines from this poem, which are to throw no envy, Shakespeare, on thy name. Am I thus ample to thy book and fame? While I confess thy writings to be such as neither man nor muse can praise too much. Keep up your bright swords, for the dew will rust them. Good Signor, you shall more command with ears than with your weapons. The above lines are addresses by Othello to we have to tell to whom Othello addressed these lines, and here is a very beautiful painting of Othello and Desdemona, fair Desdemona. So the answer is Othello addressed these lines to Barbancio, Rodrigo, and officers, and this was the last question of this quiz. I know there were not many questions, but these questions were very nice, and all of these are PYQs, so you can get a fair idea that what kind of questions they will ask. Either they will ask you from the lines which shows that read you have to read all these plays, and they will not ask you very simple questions. That is very clear from these PYQs. So this was all for today, and if you like this video, if you like these questions and anything about this video, then please like, share and subscribe, and see you soon.